if I told you that one of the NRL's most feared forwards could be on the move, and that another player, barely tested at the top level, has already secured a jaw-dropping $1.5 million contract? Shocking, right? Well, buckle in, because this transfer window has turned into one of the most chaotic, unpredictable, and downright unbelievable sagas in rugby league history. Before we dive in, make sure you smash that subscribe button to stay locked in with Aussie NRL updates, your go-to channel for all the latest whispers, rumours, and breaking stories in the league. Now, let's unravel this madness. When Wayne Bennett sets his eyes on a player, history tells us he usually gets his man. And right now, the master coach has intensified his chase for none other than David Fifita. Fifita, the wrecking ball's second rower, has been the subject of tug-of-war battles before. We've seen him courted like royalty, with clubs throwing money and promises of stardom his way. But this chase feels different. This is Wayne Bennett, one of the greatest minds in rugby league, putting all his cards on the table. Insiders are whispering that Bennett has been personally involved in the negotiations, working the phones, meeting face-to-face, and making it clear that Fifita is the missing piece to his puzzle. Here's the kicker: Bennett isn't just selling Fifita on money. No, he's selling him on legacy. On the chance to become part of something historic. On the idea that his career will reach another level under the guidance of a coach who has built champions from raw clay time and time again. But let's not sugarcoat it, this isn't an easy decision for Fifita. He's loyal, he's settled, and he knows his value. Every big club is circling, sniffing around, and ready to swoop if he so much as blinks. So the question is, will Bennett's magic touch prove irresistible again? Now, while Bennett's pursuit of Fifita is headline-grabbing, the real shockwave in this transfer window comes from the West's Tigers. Imagine this: a player with only 6 NRL games under his belt being handed a deal worth a staggering $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. 6 games. $1.5 million. Rugby league is brutal, unpredictable, and sometimes unforgiving. Most players fight tooth and nail for years before seeing serious money. But in this case, the Tigers have decided to roll the dice, lock in a young gun, and essentially bet the house on his potential. Fans are divided. Some say it's a masterstroke, securing a future superstar before his price skyrockets. Others argue it's reckless, pointing out that talent doesn't always equal consistency, and that raw promise doesn't guarantee success at the highest level. So, who is this mystery Tiger? What makes him so valuable? And why are the Tigers prepared to gamble millions on a player still learning the ropes? The whispers suggest the answer lies in a mix of talent, marketability, and desperation. The Tigers know they need to make bold moves to claw their way back into contention. They've been starved of success, and patience among fans is running thin. A signing like this sends a message: they're done waiting. They're swinging big. But what if it backfires? Between Bennett's Fifita chase and the Tigers' $1.5 million gamble, the NRL has been thrown into a frenzy of speculation. Players, managers, and fans are buzzing. Whispers of secret meetings, last-minute counteroffers, and even whispers of backflips are floating around. Because in rugby league, a handshake deal means nothing until the ink is dry. We've seen it before, a player swearing loyalty one day, only to jump ship the next. Could that happen here? Don't rule it out. For Wayne Bennett, this isn't just about adding muscle to his squad, it's about leaving a legacy. At his age and with his resume, every decision counts. He doesn't just want to win games, he wants to build dynasties. He's not chasing Fifita for the headlines. He's chasing him because he sees a future built around his destructive running, his physical dominance, and his ability to change games single-handedly. But here's the twist: other clubs know exactly what Bennett knows. They know Fifita could transform their fortunes overnight. Which means the bidding war is only just beginning. On the other side of the league, the Tigers' gamble has put the spotlight squarely on them. If this player blossoms into the superstar they're predicting, the club will be hailed as visionary. If he stumbles, though, the fallout will be brutal. Think about it: players who've bled for years, earning their stripes, grinding through injuries and setbacks, are still waiting for paydays like this. And suddenly, a rookie gets the golden ticket. That creates tension, not just in the fan base, but possibly even in the locker room. So here we are, Wayne Bennett, sharpening his focus on David Fifita, working every angle to lure him into his grand plan. And the West's Tigers, placing a $1.5 million bet on a player who could either redefine their future or become one of the costliest gambles in NRL history. But the story doesn't end here. Because in part 2, the twists intensify. Rival clubs are circling like sharks, secret deals are bubbling beneath the surface, and shocking new whispers suggest that Bennett's plan may not be as straightforward as it seems. And as for the Tigers, well, let's just say the gamble could trigger a domino effect no one saw coming. Stick around, because what's coming next will blow this whole saga wide open. Alright, so where were we? Yes, Wayne Bennett tightening his grip on David Fifita, and the Tigers rolling the dice with a $1.5 million gamble on a rookie with just 6 games under his belt. 2 stories, running in parallel, each with the power to shake the foundations of the NRL. But if you thought part 1 was shocking, just wait. Because the whispers we're hearing now, they're turning into full-blown roars. When Wayne Bennett makes a move, the league reacts. And that's exactly what's happening with the Fifita chase. Rival clubs aren't just sitting back and watching, they're circling. Some insiders claim the Titans are quietly preparing a counteroffer to keep Fifita locked down, while others whisper that a Sydney powerhouse has stepped into the shadows, ready to throw money on the table at the 11th hour. And here's the kicker, one club executive was overheard saying, "If Bennett wants him this badly, maybe we should want him too." It's a mind game. Nobody wants to miss out on a player who could swing the balance of power. And nobody wants to let Bennett walk away with yet another masterstroke. So, Fifita finds himself at the center of a tug-of-war with more pulling power than ever. Money. Legacy. Loyalty. Each side offering something different. Which way will he go? Let's break this down. Wayne Bennett isn't selling a short-term contract. He's selling a dream, a pathway to greatness. Think of all the players who flourished under him, Lockyer, Inglis, Slater, the list goes on. He has a way of convincing players that under his guidance, they'll not only win, they'll be remembered. But Fifita has been burned before by expectation. He knows how heavy the spotlight can be, how brutal the criticism can get. Does he want to take on that weight again under Bennett's gaze? Or does he stick with the safer choice, stability where he is, with a system that already knows him? That's the decision looming large, and the NRL world is holding its breath. Meanwhile, the Tigers' $1.5 million rookie is becoming the talk of the league. Fans are blowing up forums, commentators are debating it on air, and former players are shaking their heads in disbelief. One ex-NRL star put it bluntly, "Back in my day, you had to bleed for years before you even sniffed that kind of money." But here's what's interesting, this gamble might not just be about talent. Some insiders claim the Tigers are banking on this young player's marketability. That beyond his on-field ability, he has the charisma, the appeal, and the storyline to pull fans through the gates and keep jerseys flying off the shelves. It's not just football, it's business. But business can be ruthless. If the rookie fails to deliver, he won't just be carrying his own disappointment. He'll be carrying the weight of every frustrated fan who sees their club's money tied up in a gamble that didn't pay off. And here's where things get really spicy. These 2 moves, Bennett's Fifita chase and the Tigers' $1 million gamble, are sending shockwaves across the league. Other clubs are watching closely. If Bennett lands Fifita, rival coaches may scramble to find their own big forward signings, triggering a chain reaction of transfers. If the Tigers' gamble pays off, expect more clubs to start locking in young guns early, throwing big money before they've even fully proven themselves. It could reshape how contracts are negotiated for years to come. But if it fails, expect the opposite. Clubs will retreat, become more cautious, and rookies will once again be forced to grind for years before touching a payday like this. One gamble. One chase. And the future of NRL recruitment could change forever. Now, here's where the story takes a twist worthy of a Hollywood script. Word is, there's been a secret meeting between Bennett and Fifita, not just casual chats, but a sit-down where the legendary coach laid out his grand vision. And according to whispers, Bennett told Fifita something along the lines of, "This isn't about one season. It's about building something that will outlast both of us." That's heavy. That's legacy talk. That's Bennett at his persuasive best. But here's the twist, another source claims that just hours later, a rival club swooped in with a counteroffer, dangling not just money but a leadership role, promising Fifita the captaincy down the track. If that's true, Fifita is standing at a crossroads unlike any other in his career. On the Tigers' side, the rookie's deal has already created friction. Some senior players, privately, are said to be unhappy. Imagine being a veteran with 150 games under your belt, grinding through seasons of struggle, and suddenly watching a rookie leapfrog you financially after just 6 games. That tension is real. But so is the belief from those inside the Tigers camp who insist this kid is the future. That he's worth every cent. That in 2 years, people will look back and say this was the turning point for the club. So, will this rookie rise to the challenge, or crumble under the weight of expectation? That's the $1.5 million question. As the dust swirls, the NRL stands on the edge of 2 seismic shifts. Will David Fifita succumb to the magnetic pull of Wayne Bennett's vision, joining a project that could etch his name into rugby league folklore? Or will loyalty, money, or promises from elsewhere keep him away from the master coach's grasp,